Oi oi! So welcome to week 300. 300! Hey, there we go, 300 licks of Lick Friday. That's a lot for you guys to learn. Now, I'm not going to ramble on too much this week just because I want to get on with the licks. So we've got 3 licks to learn. If you do like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell button and hitting the like button for this video in particular, because it all helps push this channel along. For the tab, dansguitar.com, linked up there and down below. And if you want to come and support this channel and get jamming tracks like the one that's on this video at the end, by the way, that you won't find on YouTube, then please go to my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/danspage. Once again, linked up there and down below, and you can get lessons and all sorts of stuff with me via Skype, or actually just as a 2 weekly video thing. So there you go, that's all I'm going to say about this and social media. Please come along, say hi on there as well. That's it, let's get on with the licks. There's 3 licks, and breakdown is coming up after each one of those licks. Nice one, see you in a bit. Right, so this one, as with all 3, they're working on the subtleties of it. So it's more to do with your right hand dynamics, if you're a right-handed guitar player, than it is to do with the flamboyancy of your left hand. So there's 3 licks, as I said right at the beginning of the video. So what we're doing is not that demanding for the fingers, which is great, but you will learn a lot just by keeping control of the way you attack the strings. So that is the whole point of doing this sort of like dynamic lesson. So you're starting off on that 3rd string, 10th fret. Now you can use fingers to give you that subtlety, the fleshiness, or you can pick lightly. But whatever you do, try not to dig in too much. You can vary it just to suit the sort of style of the playing that you want to hear for the track that you're playing over. But it comes down to, this is a very subtle lick in itself, so it's all about the control. So once you're bending that, slowly bend that 10th fret full tone. So then add the vibrato on at the end. Then you go to the 11th fret on the 2nd string, back to that 10, so that's almost a pre-bend but not quite. So you're picking the 11 and then almost like you don't hear the push up of the bend, and then let that down gradually. So then you've got a really lazy hammer on from the 8 to the 10 on that 3rd string. It's almost like you're sitting slightly behind the beat, and then to the 10 on that 4th string with vibrato to finish that lick. So was it alternating? I think it was the sequences. I was putting in the E flat and then a B flat. So that's basically 6 8 8 8, and I was doing the 6 8 8 7. And I was putting that alternating sequences, so you get like the actual thing goes, and that's how that fits in, and then goes to the C minor for the main lick. So that's it, that's that lick, number 1. Really easy to do, but not so easy to keep control of those dynamics whilst taking the bends slow, and making it sound sustained, I guess, in many ways. So what I'm doing, actually give you a little pointer on the sound. The gain on the amp is like this. So there's quite a lot of gain on there, but I'm pulling the volume back. It's probably about 3, maybe 4, just to take some of the edge off of it, so it's more of a subtle sound to start off with. If you do strike it too hard, you're still going to get like a fairly mellowish sound, but it's not going to be as overpowering with loads of fizzy distortion or gain. So just keeping control of your volume whilst playing is another way of doing that, because obviously the harder you strike the string, the more it powers the amplifier, the signal going in, and then the more gain you get going in there as well. So that's another thing I do a lot, is use the volume control, which obviously compensates as well. So then when you're using your fingers, you're almost cleaning that sound right up, and it just makes it really subtle. And then when you need more, you've got more with that volume. You can take it right out for solos. Good, eh? Right, let's get on with lick number 2. Okay, so this one's a standard sort of pentatonic lick, which is that. But what we're doing with this is we're taking the dynamic range from one kind of extreme right down to another. So you're starting off fairly hard on those first 3 notes, then taking the attack out as you come back down the lick itself. So the first 3, maybe 4 notes, you can hear a definite divide in the dynamics on that. So what you're going to try and do is the lick itself is basically 10 on the 3rd string, and then 8, 8, 8. So that's 2nd string, 1st string, 2nd string. Then to the 11 on the 2nd string, 10 3rd, 8 2nd, 8 3rd, 10 3rd, and then it's the 10 on the 4th, 8 on the 3rd, and then a slide from the 8 to the 10 on the 4th. Okay, so the first 3 notes, dig into that as much as you like, I think. Obviously don't completely do light and shade as far as really powerful and so subtle that it's like overpowering and too quiet. Sort of bring it to a nice level where you're actually bringing some emotion into it. So now the first part, obviously you're digging in a little bit more, just a bit, sort of break the sound up slightly. Then as soon as you come on to that 4th note, you're playing the sequence to the 8 on the 2nd string. So as soon as you start to dig in, that's where you stop that sort of volume and trying to break up the amp. Then you can start to use the fleshiness or light-hearted picking, or just lighter to the touch. So practice going in hard and then coming right back. That should give you a really cool sound. There you go. Coming up with lick 3. So with this lick, you're kind of running through my standard, if you like, of shape 5, 1, 2, 3, and then into 4. Something I do quite a lot. Anyway, this time we're doing it with extremely subtle picking. So you start off really light. Now, if you wanted to, you could kind of slightly palm mute, which will give you that subtlety as you go down. Just take some of the edge off of it and stop it ringing out too much. So you're trying to dampen that sound as you go through. It's not a must to do that, but you know, it will help sort of give you a different dynamic once more. So the right hand actually does quite a lot as far as sitting on those strings, and almost like you're not quite picking it in a way. But anyway, that's something for you to experiment with. So fretting wise, we've got 6, 8, 6, 8, slide to the 10, that's on the second string, and then you've got 8, 10 on the fourth string, 8, 10, slide to the 12 on that third string, 11, slide up to the 13 on the second string, 11 on the first string, and then you've got the 13 sliding up to the 16 on the second string, 13 on that first string, 16 second string, sliding up to the 18 to the 15 on the first string, bending the 18 up and then picking the 18 whilst that bend is still going on the first string. So bringing it slightly back down and giving it that bend back into pitch, which is that full tone from the 18th fret, second string. So I'll do that slowly, then I'll go through the dynamic sort of idea where you've got, slowly I said, didn't I? Okay, so you're starting off subtle, and then gradually taking off the palm mute, if you like, which is what I'm doing, until you get to this point where you dig in just a little bit more, just to bring out that sort of bend at the end and make that sound sweeter. So start off really nice and quiet. You can use fingers, you can use plectrum. I think I was using plectrum all the way through this one. And then once you hit that bend, just open it up a little bit just to make that sing, make it sort of poke through the sound, give it its own little space in that sonic range. And that is basically it. That is your last lick for this one. So I'll just hand you back over to me for the conclusion of this lesson, if you like. And also remember that jamming track coming up in just a few moments. The end. So not the end of Lick Friday, by the way. I did say that I might stop Lick Friday, but I think I'll continue it because it's quite good fun, isn't it? So we've got the 3 licks done, and next week we're on to 301. So I don't know whether to keep numbers going, but let's see. Please watch the 7 licks, hashtag 7 licks videos that I've done as well. The next video coming up will be a little while yet. I've got to try and write everything out, and obviously I said that we've got Guy Griffin from the Choir Boys that's kindly videoed all that for me as well. So I'm going to write everything out and see if I need to do any more to that. So that'll take a while. So there may be one in between that one and yeah, now and then really. So once again, website dansguitar.com for the tab for this lesson and all the other Lick Fridays, and you can find me on Patreon, which is patreon.com/dance page, to come along with the support of this channel, lessons that you won't find on YouTube, jamming tracks like the one, or actually the one that's on this lesson, coming up in just a second. So the one that's coming up in just a second is the unmixed version, just because I haven't had time to do that. So but you've got a small version of it, like a 2-minute version of the full video track even, coming up in just a sec, so please stay tuned for that. But I bid you farewell, and I'll see you next week for week 301. Might even take a week off, not sure yet. Let's just see how we go. See you next time.